Hi, my beautiful queens and kings. This is your one and only Queen Dish here. So, some of you know I have been healing, and I'm still healing. And I just want to say thank you to all of you that have wished me well, said something nice, reached out. I really, truly appreciate it. Um, I tried to do one of the Kingness Tips the week before, and something kept happening with the video. So I just said it's fine. I will do it the next week. But then, unfortunately, the next week is when I ended up in the hospital. So I'm back. I am back. The queen is back. I'm here for you. I will always show up for you guys. So thank you for your patience and understanding. So let's just get right into it. This is the Kingness Tip. Every week, I typically alternate between the Kingness Tip and the Queendom Tip. So I am doing the Kingness Tip since somehow the devil didn't want me to do the Kingness Tip last time. So I am the author, for those of you that don't know, I am the author of Kings Don't Settle, a book of poems to empower men, in addition to Queens Don't Settle, a book of poems to empower women. So this is the men's book, Kings Don't Settle. That's good enough to see. And then the Queens Don't Settle book, I have another one coming. I have the proof, I'm sorry. But the Queens Don't Settle book, let's try that. There you go. Queens Don't Settle, a book of poems to empower women. So both of my tips for women and men, my queens and my kings, are coming from these two books. Okay. So the Kingness tip for tonight, for my kings, of course, is wrong book. Has to do with the poem Confidence. Confidence. So I don't actually go over and Keith. Hello. So I don't actually go over the poem itself. You guys have to purchase the book for that. But what I do is kind of discuss what's in the book, sort of surrounding the poem itself, as well as the reflection. Okay. So a king's confidence. So to my beautiful men out there, you guys are human just like we are. I'm very much aware of that. You guys have feelings. You hurt. You hurt just like we do. You go through some of the same things that women do. Unfortunately, our society, the way that we're programmed, unfortunately makes us believe sometimes that men don't have feelings, that they just don't know it. They don't know what we're going through, and they don't go through anything. And that's not true. That's not true at all. Men are human beings just like us. And I recognize that. And God gave me the inspiration to do a poetry book for the men to help empower the men. I can't even lie. I'm like, ooh, Lord, that's a big assignment. But he gave me Queens Don't Settle. So it's a time that we need it. Let's be honest. We're with everything going on in the world, we need as much encouragement, inspiration, positivity, empowerment as possible. Okay, and so I'm just simply doing my part and what God told me to do to help you all. Some of you know that I also do a prayer call in the morning with Lori Woodruff. Our prayer call is Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We always post the conference line number and the participant code for you, to be able to call in and listen in. And we also post the replays on our timelines and in our stories. So either way, you have access to what we do. I'm here for you. You know, she's also accessible. We're both authors. We're both authors. We're both empowerment speakers, international speakers, on this journey with you guys. So I always tell you guys I'm human just like you. I believe in being authentic, vulnerable, transparent, like I'm just like you, okay? This may be my assignment, but I am just like you. And just like I honor my queens, of course, I also want to make sure that we do honor the men because we do need men. I don't believe in male bashing. I have my opinions, but it is never ever from a standpoint of trying to male bash. I don't believe in that. And I don't believe that's how we will move forward as a society in helping all of us to heal, okay? Everything that I do, again, is authentic. It comes from a place of love. You may not disagree, but I simply ask you to be able to just be a mature adult and have your own opinion, like I have mine. We can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, it's all love. It's all love, and it's just an opinion. But know that it comes from a good place, a very pure place, and a very authentic place, with the intention to encourage, inspire, and empower both my queens and my kings. Okay, so again, kings don't settle. See if you guys can see. I don't know if y'all can see that. There you go. Kings Don't Settle, a book of poems to empower men. It is available on Amazon, okay? So for my fellas, make sure that you tell your other fellas and fathers and brothers because, you know, this is for you all, okay? So again, I'm going over the poem that has to do with confidence. Your tip has to do with confidence, okay? So it's interesting that I today came across a post by someone that I know, and Steve Harvey was in the picture. And you're watching it, he probably knows who I'm talking about. But it says something to the effect of, you know, like a man won't feel like a man unless his finances are in order. Okay. Okay. And so the person who posted that was just asking for opinions. Cool. And I gave my opinion, and I simply said that there are a lot of wealthy people, a lot of rich people, wealthy people that are going home to empty houses. They have money, you know, they have the money, they have that wealth, but they're going home alone by themselves to an empty home. Okay, so I absolutely believe money is important. I'm not going to sit here and tell you money's not important because it is. When the bill collector's calling, you can't tell them, oh, we're in love. Oh, I'm a good person. I'm a good Samaritan. That's just not reality. Okay, and I'm real. That's not reality. So, yes, money is important. However, to completely base your entire self worth on how much money you have in the bank, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And I think it's that kind of mindset almost that has so many men feeling so downtrodden and feeling um, low and having that low self-esteem because maybe they're not financially where they want to be. You know, we're all a work in progress. We are all a work in progress. And my comment was that we should all be working on ourselves so that we are confident in what we bring to the table. Okay? That's it. We should all be doing the personal growth and the personal development on ourselves so we're confident in what we're able to bring to the table. So, yes, that includes finances and things like that, but that doesn't necessarily automatically mean you have to be making, you know, 8 figures. Come on, you guys. You know, and for the men, it's kind of how our society is set up. In the same way for the women, for the women, they condition us to attach our self-worth to our relationship status. And I'm a big proponent against that ish. Okay, so it's kind of the same thing for the men, where you guys are kind of judged based on how you're doing, especially financially. And so again, yes, money is important. I'm not saying it's not, but I want to honor you, men. I want to still honor you. I want you to still understand that you're still important. Okay. You may not be where you want to be financially. Okay. Some of us aren't. A lot of us aren't. Okay. But that doesn't take away from who you are. It doesn't take away from the fact that God has you here on earth at this time for a reason. It doesn't take away from the fact that in God's eyes, you're still perfect. It doesn't take away from the fact that you're still essentially a king. Okay? You are. You are. And you have to do things as far as your confidence. You want to do things that will help increase your confidence and help increase your self-esteem. Yes, work on your finances, of course, work on your finances. Women are also my queens working on their finances, okay? But you want to do things that make you feel good. I did a whole podcast on I love you too, Juan. I love you right back. I did a whole podcast on commitment. I believe I titled it Commitment Equals Confidence. And what I mean by that, it's Queens Don't Settle. The name of my podcast is Queens Don't Settle. Ideally, it's for my queens. However, men can listen to the podcast, I promise you, because a lot of the principles themselves apply to both genders. It's not only women, okay? Just like the No More Broken Records book. The principles apply to both women and men. So while, yes, it's for my queens, I am sure and I am confident that when men listen to it, they can get something from it. In addition, when they listen to it, they can pass it on to their sister or their mother or their aunt, another woman that probably needs to hear it. You see what I mean? Okay. So commitment equals confidence. When you commit to yourself, when you actually show up for yourself, men, when you actually follow through on what you say you're going to do, that increases your confidence. When you continue to break promises to yourself, when you don't follow through on anything that you say you're going to do, what do you think is going to happen? Of course your confidence is going to decrease, because you're not even holding yourself to what you said. It's like you're not even following through on what you said to yourself. It's almost like saying, well, you can't even trust yourself. You said you were going to, I know everybody in the beginning of the year swears up and down they're going to lose, weight. That's everybody's New Year's goal. So I'm just going to use that as an example. Okay. You said this is the year you're going to lose those 20 pounds by June. Did you follow through? No, you didn't. Okay. When you do that continually, over time, and you're constantly not following through on what you say to yourself, that can decrease your confidence. You're not going to feel good about yourself, kings. And really, the principle applies to women too. So really, everything is kind of interchangeable. But of course, I alternate between the queendom tips and the kingness tips. Okay, but when you don't follow through, that decreases your own confidence. It's because you're not saying true to yourself. You're not following through on what you said you were going to do. When you, at the end of the day, have to face yourself and look in the mirror, how do you think you are really going to feel? Just be honest. You don't follow through on anything. You say you're going to do something, you don't do it. And you just keep repeating this same cycle over and over and over. And a lot of you know I'm the founder of the No More Broken Records movement. No more broken records. It's a movement to empower women not to settle. But really, hell, men shouldn't be settling either. Men should not be settling either. Okay? But when you continue that same pattern over and over and over, that same cycle, guess what? You keep getting the same things. How are you going to increase your confidence? The title of that specific poem is A King's Confidence. How are you going to increase your confidence if you don't ever follow through on anything that you say to yourself? So you have to be honest with yourself, Kings. Take a look at some of the goals you may have, written down in the beginning of this year. We're halfway through the year already. It's crazy. We're halfway through the year. Okay. Go back through some of those goals. Hopefully you wrote some down. Because if you haven't, that's okay. This is a sacred space. I'm not judging you. I'm just talking. Okay. But if you have not written down any goals, okay, I would urge you, or I would encourage you at this point, now that we're at the end of June, to write some goals down. There's really power in writing something out with your handwriting. So I tell you guys, whether it's the prayer call on my podcast, write stuff out in your handwriting, because it's you. It's like you're a being. You recognize it. Your soul recognizes it's you. It's your handwriting. So write it out on paper, what your goals are or what you want to achieve for the rest of the year, for the latter half of this year. Okay? But be realistic. Remember, think of the SMART goals. Okay? Think of the SMART goals. They still have to be realistic. Okay? Definitely stretch, but they need to be realistic, because again, you don't want to do anything that's going to take away from your confidence. You don't want to put something on there that you absolutely know you're not going to achieve. Okay? And that's not going to make you feel good. Okay? That's not going to make you feel good. And I want you all to love yourselves enough to do what you are supposed to do, okay, and to do the things that make you feel good and enliven you, okay? I want you to commit to the things that really make you feel good and make you happy and excite you, that bring you joy. Because when you do those things, it helps to increase your confidence. And if you set a goal and you're doing things that make you happy, of course that's going to help to increase your confidence, because you feel good on the inside, and everything is inside out. Okay? It's inside out. It's not the external world out here and then us. No, it is us inside first. Our thoughts, our uh, actions, our words, all of that. It's inside out. Okay? So you have to be mindful of that. Okay? Your thoughts become your words, and your words become your actions. Okay? Your thoughts become your words, and your words become your actions. So make sure that you guys are doing things, okay, that make you feel good, that you're confident you can actually achieve, and start to do those things. And we're all human. You don't have to beat yourself up if you fall off one day, okay? But again, you don't want to get into a habit. You don't want to get into a habit of not following through. Okay? Commitment equals confidence. If you have not listened to that podcast, I would listen to it. Again, men, yes, you can listen to that podcast. The podcast is available on Anchor, iTunes, and Spotify. If you actually go to Anchor, it's anchor.com. Let me see. I will put in the link. Give me a second here. I will put in the Anchor link. But if you have Apple, iTunes, if you just go in podcast and type in Queens Don't Settle, you will see, and you can pull it up that way. Hold on one second here. Let me see if I can get it, because at least on, there it is. Yep. at least on the Anchor one, they pull up all of the icons for the different podcasts, the different platforms that it's on. Hopefully that works. Yes. Okay, good. So yeah, so that's it. And then you can just click it from there. So again, women, men, I definitely ask you to share the podcast, because we all need the positivity, the encouragement. We all are on this journey together. I'm human just like you. I am learning. This is my assignment. You all have your own assignment. But men, you guys, definitely, okay? I know that you need this. God gave it to me. Why? No, I'm just kidding. um, but God gave it to me, and I'm more than happy to have listened and answered the call to do this for you all. Kings don't settle. Available on Amazon, and I have some reflections in there, so it's a very reflective poetry book. The poems are in there, but then I have like a tip and I have some reflections, and I want you guys to kind of write some things out, because that's the whole point. I want you to really understand as a man that you are valuable, just like my beautiful queens. You are valuable and you are important as a man. And just because you don't have 7 figures in the bank right now, or 8 figures, or 9, or even 6, that does not make you less than a man. That doesn't make you less than a man. That's crazy. That's crazy. No, we all are on this journey. Again, I do believe you should be investing in yourself. I believe in personal growth and personal development. I think that's ongoing. I think you should be a lifelong learner. That's not something that you do one day and then you're done tomorrow. You should always be investing in yourself, personal growth and personal development. And a lot of the stuff is free. You know how many YouTube videos there are on personal growth and personal development and motivation and inspiration? I mean, you really don't have an excuse. You don't have an excuse. So, I mean, if specific to, again, the Kingness Tip today that has to do with the confidence, I mean, Google, yeah, you can Google, but if you type it on YouTube, men's confidence, or how to increase your confidence as a man, or men's empowerment video, do you know how many things are going to come up? So there's no excuse. There's really no excuse. The resources are there and they're free. You just have to take the time to invest in yourself. And you should love yourself enough to do that, because yeah, a king's confidence. I will say, I will say that I mentioned in the poem that you need to follow through on the commitments that you make, because that is very important. It's very important as a man. I mean, think about it. As a woman, we want men that are reliable and dependable, that we don't have to question, we don't have to worry about. I mean, think about how good we feel when we're like, my man, he just takes care of this, and I don't even have to ask him, or, my man handled this and he took care of that. And I mean, you guys, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. But that should just be who you are. That should just be who you are. And some of you just need to work on yourselves and get back to a place where you build yourself up like that. Because we've all gotten off track, taken detours, life happens. Like, again, we're all human. We're all human. So you won't hear from me like people acting like life is perfect, and like not being real and not being authentic, because I'm really not for that. Let's be real and authentic. This is a sacred space. Let's talk about what's real and what's going on, and let's be open and honest with each other about our journeys, and that's it. And let's talk about it. So as far as your confidence, yes, you are still a man of honor. And I will say that because, like I said, I don't do the poem. I do my tips, but I don't go over the entire poem. You have to buy the book for that, which is available on Amazon. But I do talk about the poem and the reflections. And I really do want you all men to, I really, really want you to uh, love what you see in the mirror. And what I mean by that, uh, well, yeah, see, I said your worth as a man isn't tied to how much money you currently make. Your worth, your worth. I mean, my God. So so anybody who's making, any man who I guess is not a millionaire, what is he, worthless? Like, come on. That doesn't even make sense. Okay, there's so much more. What I believe is that you need to look at a person's character. Character. Again, I'm not saying, let me be very clear, I'm not saying money is not important because it is. However, a person's character is undeniable. That is something that will take them wherever they go. Okay? Whoever you are is going to follow you wherever you go, male or female. So if you are just late, if you're just a late person, that's going to follow you wherever you go. Okay? If you are someone that's unreliable, that's just a part of who you are, that's going to follow you wherever you go. Character, character, honey. So I tell my queens, but even still for the men, I'm telling you, look at her character. Her character. Like, who is she? Aside from the amount of money that is in the bank account that she may have in her bank account, just like I tell the women, okay? What about their character? Okay, think about their character, the type of person he or she really is, okay? So for the men, I'm going to be ending here in a second, but I did mention that you need to like what you see in the mirror. You may not be where you want to be, but it's important to acknowledge that you are progressing. And I always like to acknowledge and honor you all because a lot of people don't get that. You know, in the type of world that we live in, you'll be very surprised. Like, some people really are like alone, like really alone. They're not interacting with people. They're just, I don't know, they're not connecting for different reasons. But I just like to at least acknowledge you. I typically say that on the prayer call that I do at times when it comes, because when I'm on a prayer call, like I'm just in flow. Whatever comes out, like it's just divine. It just flows and I go. But I usually like to acknowledge everyone on the prayer call. And so, men, I'm acknowledging you. If no one else has acknowledged you today, I definitely want to leave you to tell you that I acknowledge you and I honor you for the man that you are, where you are. You may not be perfect. Nobody is. You may not be perfect. But I definitely want to acknowledge that you are progressing, that you are taking steps, and especially if you are at least trying to better yourself. I definitely want to acknowledge that because that takes a lot. And some people never ever do anything. They just keep this vicious cycle of staying stuck and blaming other people, blaming everybody but themselves, never ever taking an opportunity to look within themselves to try to work on themselves because again, everything is inside out. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Remember, your thoughts become your words become your actions. So your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So you've got to work on the inner stuff, all that inner stuff, your subconscious beliefs, the conditioning, all of that. You've got to work on that. But for those of you men that really are trying to do better, my God, I want to acknowledge you those that are investing in themselves and trying to progress and moving forward and taking those leaps of faith, I want to acknowledge you and honor you for that. Your worth is not tied to just your bank account, okay? Think about your character. I do want you to think about your character, okay? Again, yes, money is important because we need that green stuff. We need the green stuff to pay for stuff. But that is not the only thing. Just like wealth. Wealth is more than just money, okay? Wealth, true wealth, is more than just money, okay? Money is a part of it, but that's not the only thing. You know, you're talking about the happiness, the joy, having the time to spend with your family, your friends, you know, being able to do what you want to do and not having to, you know, punch a clock. Like wealth is more than just money. Like it's all encompassing. Okay. So again, men, my beautiful kings, my kings, okay, think about a king's confidence. Think about a king's confidence. And I want you to think about your character. And I want you to follow through on the commitments that you make to yourself, because that is certainly a way to help you increase your confidence. Because when you follow through on what you say you're going to do, you're going to feel good. Okay, you're going to feel good. No different than any other goal you may set, and then you will have a reward. You know, you give yourself a reward at the end of completing that goal because you feel great, like, yes, I accomplished this. So follow through on your commitments that you make to yourself. That is one way to increase your confidence. Okay, but do not, I would not absolutely completely base your worth as a man simply on your bank account, okay? Because I would certainly hope you would not base and judge a woman entirely on what's in her bank account, right? No, okay? So, men, I love you. I absolutely love you. You are loved. You are loved. I acknowledge and honor you. We need you. We definitely need you. Again, I told you in the beginning, I don't believe in the male bashing. We need you, men. Okay. Yes, we need you. The queens need you. I know y'all need us a little bit more, but we need you. We absolutely need you. You are just as important, and I want you guys to know that, okay? Kings don't settle, just like queens don't settle. You guys deserve the absolute best, just like my queens. So you should not be settling for any type of, you know, breadcrumbs. Usually I say, for my queens, I say shit crumbs. But, you know, you guys as men should not be, you know, settling for like the bare minimum of anything either. You know, if both of us, if both men and women, if we really rise up and do the inner work to heal ourselves, this world would be a better place. You know, if we would really do the work, continue to invest in ourselves, those that already are, you know, but if we would invest in ourselves, personal growth, personal development, you know, work on the inner game, the inner stuff, I'm telling you, and figure out our purposes and why we're here, like this world would be totally different. It really would. It really would. But I'm not going to go off on a tangent, okay? I just want to acknowledge you men for the wonderful beings that you are. We do need you, okay? What all was it? All the women independent? No, we need you, okay? My queens, we can be honest enough and transparent enough to say, yes, we need our men. You guys are just as valuable and just as important, okay? Just work on yourself. If you are not where you want to be, then that just means you need to continue to work on yourself and acknowledge and give yourself credit for where you are and the fact that you're progressing. Okay, it is never ever about perfection. It's just about progression. I say that all the time on my podcast. I think I've said that like so many times. Like it's never ever about perfection. It's just about progression. We should be progressing, like evolving, growing. Okay, because if you're not growing, you're dying. And that's just a fact. You can, Tony Robbins has said that, like there's so many successful people that have said that. Like we're supposed to be evolving. So if like you're not growing, you're dying. And then you stay stuck and you repeat the same cycles and you keep sounding like a broken record over and over and over. And that's just like old, and nobody wants to hear that. I don't want to be on the other end of the phone call. Like, I don't want to be that person who got to hear that same tune over and over and over. Like, I'd probably hang up. Hey, hey, hey. It gets old. That's the point. A broken record for my demographic and my old school heads, they understand the whole concept of a broken record, not sounding like a broken record. Hence why I am the founder of that movement. No more broken records, okay? You don't want to sound like a broken record all the time for your entire life. At some point, we want you to break the cycle, okay? So hence, God gave me Kings Don't Settle, and he also gave me Queens Don't Settle. I have the No More Broken Records book. All of the books are on Amazon. And if you just go to the website, my website, like they're all on there. This is my very first book. Let's see, hold on. This is the very first book. Oh, I can't get it right. Damn. There we go. No More Broken Records. This is the very first book that I published. So this is the first book. Queens Don't Settle. The pink cover is actually the second edition, which I prefer for my queens to get. And if you're going to tell your aunts and nieces and wives, I ask that you tell them to get the second edition, which is the pink cover. But if you go to my website, all of that's on there. So yeah, self-published 3 books. I've got my podcast. What? I'm a poet. Look at me. I'm a poet, an author. What else? A model. What else? International speaker. A dancer. I have my music video premiere coming up this weekend. So thank God I'm in a position that I've healed to where I can, get there. So again, for those of you that sent me love, thank you so much. Yeah, it was so unexpected. Oh my God. But, sometimes God does that. The disaster or the wall, you hit the wall or something like that happens to kind of wake you up, and I will say that being rushed to the ER and being in that kind of pain unexpectedly gave me some introspection on my life. Yeah. So with that being said, my beautiful kings, I love you. My website is, let's see, it's Queens Don't Settle. Let me get it up here. But the books, yes, the books are all on there. Let me see. Did it work? Queens Don't Settle. Yes. Okay. Good. So the podcast is on there, and the website is on there. And if you scroll down, you will see the blogs, and then you will see all of the books and my YouTube channel, like everything in one-stop shop. So much easier. It's just so much easier. Okay. So next week will be my queendom tips. Since I finally got a chance to do my kingness tips, I apologize, men. It wasn't my fault, I swear. But I love you, both my queens and my kings. I absolutely love all of you. You guys are so worthy and deserving of the absolute best that life has to offer. Kings don't settle, queens don't settle. We're not meant to settle. There's nothing in the Bible that says that we are supposed to settle. Okay, we're meant for way more. And yes, for those of you that remember, no, I'm not married yet. I'm just in preparation, getting my mind ready. You got to have fun, you guys, and have fun. My God, have fun. Like, everything doesn't have to be so serious all the time. So no, the queen is not married yet. I only wear this like when I'm home. Okay, so yes, I'm single. But anyway, I love you, queens. Queens, look at me. See, I love you, kings and queens. Yes, I love you. Thank you for tuning in, and please share The podcast is on iTunes, Anchor, and Spotify. QueensDon'tSettle.com is a website where everything is all in one, and it's just a one-stop shop. And I will talk to you guys next week. I love you. I love you. I love you. And please join us on our prayer call. We post that in our story. Both Lori and I, we post that on our stories normally about 10 minutes before. It's at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. I do Tuesday and Thursday. She does Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But between the two of us, sometimes something may come up. I'm out of town, but we got it covered. We got it covered. Okay. So I love you. We love you. Mwah! I love you. I'm so glad I got a chance to meet you yesterday. Wait, what's today? Tuesday? No, that was Sunday. I'm telling you, things are just, it's just too much. It's too much sometimes. I need an assistant. But anyhow, I absolutely love all of you. You guys are so worthy and deserving of the best. Kings don't settle, queens don't settle. And, let's take this thing called life and just like rock it out, because we only got one life, and we've got to make the best of it, and we absolutely deserve it. And you all are worthy and deserving of it. My men, yes, you are worthy and deserving of it as well, along with my beautiful queens. Okay, so I love you. You guys have a good night, and I will talk to you next week. Will be the Queendom Tips, but of course, men, you can join, just like some of the women joined in for the Kingness Tips. The point is, I'm here for both of you. You can, of course, you can inbox me, but my Facebook fan pages are the No More Broken Records. If you put in like Facebook, was it facebook.com / No More Broken Records, or facebook.com / Petite with Purpose. Those are my two Facebook pages, Petite with Purpose and No More Broken Records. On Instagram, it's the same thing. Dixon and No More Broken Records on Instagram. Twitter, it's Dixon, but the way that No More Broken Records is spelled a little differently because I had to chop off some of the letters. But I'll be honest, I'm more between Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to keep up, Facebook and Instagram, that's where you'll find me, okay? But I'm here for you guys. I love you, I love you, I love you. We're all in this together. Love yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Know that you're worthy and deserving of the absolute best. You are absolutely worthy and deserving of everything, all of your heart's desires. It's already done. It's already done. So you don't have to settle, period. Because my queens and my kings, we don't settle, boo. Okay? I love you. Have a good night.